This week on Storyboard, in an exclusive chat with CNBC-TV18, we are catching up with Acer Chairman and CEO Chen. He is unveiling their plans, including venturing into new segments in consumer electronics, e-mobility, AI PCs, and their emphasis on eco-friendly products. He also speaks about building brand Acer and their investments for the country. And as we wrap the year, we are catching up with Satpathy, CEO ITC Personal Care, who's taking us through the key highlights for them for the year and also sharing what excites him as a leader for 2024. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. We want to be the first, and if not the first, then the first batch of supplier to launch AI-ready PCs, says Acer Chairman and CEO Chen. Apart from AI, Chen is also very much excited about the potential that India market has to offer. On his recent visit to the country, Chen reinforced the company's commitment to the thriving Indian market with strategic initiatives aimed at fostering growth, innovation and sustainability. Chen, in a special chat with CNBC-TV18, also unveils their plans, including venturing into new segments in the consumer electronics space, e-mobility, AI PCs, and their emphasis on eco-friendly products. Listen in. Jason, your visit to India comes on the heels of your visit to Dubai for COP28, where you unveiled your conscious technology vision moving forward. Tell us more about it and what are your plans and how are you planning to execute this vision for conscious technology?
Conscious technology is our vision that when we developed our technology, that we always keep climate and eco-friendly in our mind. There are many ways to develop technology and to make money and make profits. I want to make sure that we selected the right area that we develop and we invest to come up with the products that will help people to make their mark in life, but not the negative mark on the planet.
On the planet, correct. But every other tech brand is, speaking about conscious technology, about sustainable products and, reducing the e-waste. How are you doing it differently?
To start with, we are a computer company, so using recycled material to make computer will be an obvious one that we start to do it. And then second level, using recycled material to make apparels, accessories. Then get into battery business. And once we get into battery business, we realize that battery technology can be implemented in other areas like e-bike, e-scooters, and other applications that we'll be able to do. And in fact, in the COP28, we launched our power storage product device that we think can help many other people.
Jason, we are catching up in India. Tell us, what are some of the key tech trends that you've picked up from the country?
Number one, this is a large market, so it's very hard to say just one or two areas that we want to focus. We are conventionally strong in commercial area already, and now we are getting ourselves into consumer to be more consumer conscious, to be more eco-friendly, as I said it earlier. And then next area will be what else? Yeah. We take some of our air treatment technology into air purifier to make sure that people can enjoy more fresh air. Then get into other home appliances like water purifier. And then water purifier requirement in India is actually different from other markets. And so that we are developing some of the products specifically for locals. And then next, we will be, this morning we're actually talking about power storage. Can we provide that kind of device? Can we manufacture that in India? That is some of the discussion and initiatives that we have in mind and we are executing.
Now moving on, let's speak about AI and how generative AI and
I'm just sort of a little bit afraid that we don't talk about AI. Okay, now let's come to AI.
So speaking about AI, and generative AI has been the phrase for 2023 right from the beginning of the year. It has been discussed all over. Tell us your plans when it comes to AI moving forward, and how excited are you about the applications of AI as a technology?
Let me start with the ending first. I'm very excited about that. Artificial intelligence has been well discussed and now very rapidly being implemented. To start with, we think the generative AI will change the usage model of computers. the current computer usage model is mainly used for search. Think about that. If you got a question, problems that you want to solve, the first thing you do search, and the computer give a list of related documents, and you do your own composition and to come out with kind of statement that you need. That usage model will change from search to ask. You ask, the computer will give you a direct answer in the format that you need, whether that's 300 words, 500 words, or 20 pages, in a way that you need. And that fundamental change on usage model will stimulate the market demand in a positive way. And we've been seeing every new usage model will stimulate market demand of PC, and this is going to happen again.
Having said that, what are your investments? What are Acer's investments in, further taking AI and strategy around AI to the next level?
There are multiple areas. To start with the hardware level, real time we are already making the new AI-ready PC, and those products will reach the market very, very soon. And we want to be the first one. If not the first one, we want the first batch of supplier coming to the AI-ready PC. And coming to the other AI application that we are looking at multiple areas, from generating IC design chips, for instance, generating government officials and contracts. One of the areas I want to spend a little bit of time is to use artificial intelligence in the medical areas. There are hundreds, thousands of AI-related medical reports, and they call it smart medical research journals and papers being published. But many of them stay in just a good report, good science research project. We are here in a position to commercialize those good research into real product that will benefit medical requirement. 25 years ago, people talk about how do we bridge the digital divide. We are now here trying very hard to bridge the medical divide from urban to villages. In
your recent interview about a month ago with CNBC, you mentioned that personal computer demand is back or is rebounding. So tell us more, what are the factors that are driving it again?
There was a cycle happen because of pandemic. Suddenly people want any PC they can get hold of during pandemic. And because of that, people build up a lot of inventory. The industry built up huge inventory. And then post-pandemic, the industry start to deplete and digest that level of inventory. And we watch that probably middle of this year, about May timeframe, that is pretty much depleted. And therefore, the market demand, the PC market demand, come back to the norm. Now become much more seasonal other than cyclical. On top of the AI usage model, we think the industry will be much more positive.
And how is the PC market faring in the country, PC being core for Acer?
It's been, India is our third largest market in the world, and we are very excited about that, and it's ramping up very rapidly.
Jason, in a country like ours, where Acer, as an Indian consumer, we know it as a personal computer brand, but now you entered into large consumer home appliances as well. How do you want, the brand Acer to be perceived in the eyes of the Indian consumer?
Not just a PC brand, not just a regular PC brand. We are a brand company. We don't do manufacturing. We outsource, we contract to the contract manufacturers with some exceptions. India is one of the exception countries that we do our own manufacturing locally in India. So we are a PC company that is made in India for many of our products.
And what are some of the areas that you will continue to invest in the country?
Computer? Computer science. Moving into server as well. At the same time, getting into service, system integrations, cyber securities, and connectivities for networkings. Those are all open areas that we think we can contribute, we can support the Indian market to make it even more robust.
What are some of the things that excite you about 2024 as a tech leader?
Artificial intelligence will be the first one that pop up that we are all excited about that. And secondly will be, I just come from COP28 because of the climate change concern. People consider that as a concern. To us, we consider that as an opportunity. What are some of the opportunities that open up because of the climate change? We want to make power storage product, for instance. We want to make e-mobility, for instance. We want to make power saving device, for instance. Those are new opportunities that open up that we think we can contribute and we can be benefited to us and for our customer as well.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Satpathy, CEO ITC Personal Care, who's taking us through the key highlights for the year 2023 for ITC Personal Care and also going forward, what excites him as a leader. Welcome back. Over the past 1 year, the Indian beauty and personal care market has expanded at a rapid pace. A young population, consumers seeking higher quality products, adopting beauty and self-care routines, entry of domestic and global players have all fueled this fire. And as we wrap the year, in a special chat, we are catching up with Satpathy, CEO ITC Personal Care, and speaking to him about the key highlights that shaped their business. How are they adding D2C to their cart, their premiumization strategy, and what are the investments moving forward, and what is the kind of growth in personal care and beauty segment that ITC is targeting for next year? Listen in. Samir, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you, Shibani. Great to be back.
Let's begin this conversation speaking about the year gone by. What were the key highlights of the year for ITC Personal Care?
When we started the year not many people knew what AI was, but today it seems to be that every kid seems to know what to do with AI. And we had been working on an AI tool for Dermafeed, which we had launched a couple of years back. So that's really scaled up. So that's really doing well for us, because one of the big problems which we have with women is that they sometimes don't choose the right products. And because they don't choose the right products, then they don't tend to buy your brand again because they say, hey, it doesn't work. So how do you analyze the skin on your cell phone and get recommendations as to what you should be doing, both in terms of not only the product, but also what other things you should be taking care of your skin? I think that's something which is interesting.
Yeah, so AI is one.
I think after a long time, we have had one normal year. I think that's a highlight.
Yeah.
That wherein you had to do the old-fashioned things of advertising, distribution, innovation, product introductions, and so on and so forth to build your business, which is what we always did. And it was good to do the old. It's like coming home and eating dal chawal. It's important to do that because that gives you because that's what we needed. We needed this normal year.
Yeah.
So I think that's in that sense it was good. Third was when you look at inflation. Inflation actually beginning of the year was high, but fortunately it's eased off. We've also passed on those benefits to consumers, and that will always be positive. The other end is premiumization. With the advent of e-commerce and digital, I think we will see rapid development and innovation in this area.
Yeah.
You saw the first signs.
What is the kind of work and what is the kind of strategy that you've done over the past 1 year when it comes to especially premiumization?
Premiumization, I think all our brands have a premium leg to it. So we are looking at the price points are usually 2, 3, 4x, but also the value which we give to the consumers. So if you look at Engage is moving from deos to EDPs, which is a perfume, and at maybe a 500 rupees price point from 150, 180 kind of price point. So you're moving consumers up. So from soaps, we are moving people up to shower gels, we're moving people up to hand washes. Floor cleaners are concerned, we have an all natural in Nemail. So moving it up from the phenyls to something which is natural, good for your kids, because consumers wanted access. So that access itself creates demand.
What percentage of your portfolio today, Samir, will you call premium?
2 years back, that number was 26%. It's moved up to 37%. So it's been a massive shift.
Yeah.
And we are seeing it across. And brands which have done this well are growing very well.
Overall, in the past 1 year, we have seen how the beauty and personal care space also in the country has expanded with so many new entrants. So how do you look at this whole equation now?
See, it's a good time to be, I think, to be a brand manager. Why do I say that is that today you have the license and you have the tools to really innovate and really build your brand, right? And competition is also, competition is always good, because all of us, when we had done when I done eco in school or something, and the first thing they said is perfect competition. There will be a price line, the efficiency in the system comes in. So I think it makes us more efficient, it makes us sharper, it makes us better. It also forces us at times to move faster than what we would have done.
So it makes you nimble.
It absolutely. I mean, there's no choice. If you're not nimble, you're dead, right? Yeah. So if you're still around and you see us around, you say, hey, they must be faster than what they were last year.
But at the same time, do you feel established FMCG players have an advantage over the startups?
Every organization, and some of these companies cannot be called startups anymore, right? So these are more insurgent kind of brands which did things which are a little different, which built niches and now are trying to scale up. So they have their own challenges. Established companies already have their businesses, so they are trying to defend their core and still build the new, right? So at ITC, what we have done is something a little different. What we have done is we have created, especially for the digital space, we have created 3-4 brands which are more premium to have a D2C presence, which means innovation on D2C, it means presence on D2C. In the same way, we have also invested in a couple of D2C companies. Now, what that has created is a great ecosystem for us, because what we are doing is, we can, in ITC, we believe that learning is a two-way process. So they lean on us for certain things which we do better, and we lean on them for things which they do better. Also, our talent is exposed to that ecosystem, and their talent is exposed to ours. So we also have our people going and sitting in those offices and working from there, because you learn and you pick up new things. One is it's not about that there is a formula, that this is the formula they know and this is the formula we don't. It's a way of working. It's a way of looking at things. It's a way of being frugal or being fast, being smart. And these are things which environments teaches you. So this ecosystem really helps us, and I would like to thank both our startups, which is Milo and Mother Splash, for helping us to do that. And we hope, and whatever they need from us, because there are certain things we do extremely well. They lean on us, and wherever they need help, they borrow from us. So I think it's great partnership.
Yeah, you mentioned investing in certain brands and getting them to D2C, and then investing in D2C companies, and any more acquisitions in the pipeline that we expect from ITC Personal Care going forward?
So if you look at us as a company, we will always look for value accretive innovation, acquisitions, and this is something which we have done very systemically over the years. The last acquisition was Yoga Bar, which was I think 4-5 months back. So at any point of time, we will always be talking to someone. We'll be looking at something. But it's a bit like marriage. It has to work for both people, right? So, and it has to be done in a manner that we feel that in our hands the business becomes much more valuable than what we pay for it. So it may be a good business, but it may just be that we can't grow it if we can't add value to it. Then there's no point acquiring it. So that, I think, is a bit of a dance. And unless you have to go through the hoops for it.
Yeah. What are your learnings from D2C? What works over there? What strategies work as a leader? What do you think?
One is, I think these are compact teams with high motivation who are trying to make a difference in their own lives. So a lot of them are coming from personal experiences, trying to solve for a certain problem, or are passionate about a certain area, so therefore they are really put their mind and soul into it. The second is, I think, their reliance on, because they don't have, they're building from nowhere. So their reliance on technology, their way of tapping into that and maximizing it to its full potential is fantastic. Third is, I think they tend to be not to be caught up with a lot of processes which larger companies might be using, because for them taking that decision quickly and taking it fast is a question of survival, which I think is great and really takes them to that 100-200 crore mark. The question which comes after that is that what do you do now? Because when you grow, it's like I'll use an analogy of biology. So when you're a single cell organism, you don't need an exoskeleton, you don't need an inner skeleton. You can do things, but as you become, from a single cell organism, you become a more complex organism. You need to have specialization. You need to have, from a journalist, you need specialization. You need different things. So it becomes a very different animal altogether. So it would be, I think, interesting, and I would want to see that when you become 2,000 crores, do you still have the same ethos? No, it'll be very difficult.
Yeah.
Right. But at 150, you
change as you grow.
You have to change. You have to grow up. So it's interesting, but there's a lot of positive energy. There's a lot of things. So the question is, how do we tap into that, and what is that we can learn? Because there are a lot of things we can still learn. Right. Some things you have forgotten which you used to do. So these are things which is an ongoing process. So sometimes learning can be cyclical, and this is something which is great to see.
Yes. Moving forward, Samir, what are the things that excite you as a leader of ITC Personal Care?
So when I look forward, I think there are some interesting challenges which are there, and I look at different aspects of our businesses. So media is a big aspect of our business today. But top-end consumers are slowly going away from mainstream media. Slowly but surely, they are consuming so much else. The closed loop systems, where say advertising is not there. Even mass consumers, we are seeing are, a lot of people spend a lot of time watching reels. Now, at a level, it is, you can say, it's like it's almost like an impulse that you look at your phone and start looking at it. But the fact is that they're spending their time there. What that does as a marketer is that now how do I engage my consumer? What is my creative idea? What do I tell my agency? And how do we look at this new age pieces and still be able to reinforce our core and build new ones? So that's an interesting challenge to have. The second is when you look at channels. Now, previously, you used to have retailers and wholesalers. Today, you have retail, you have modern trade, which was there. Now, you had e-com. Now, e-com also, people are saying that, there is old e-com and there is not so old e-com. The not so old e-com is quick commerce.
Yeah, quick commerce.
So today, when you think in the morning, your bhai calls you from the kitchen and says, "Ki chai khatam ho gayi hai." So nobody panics. Everybody says, let's just order it in.
Let's just call it. It will reach in 15 minutes.
15 minutes, it's fine.
Yeah.
Right. You start boiling the water, the tea, tea. So we have got used to that, and that convenience is very easy to get hooked on to.
Yeah.
Right. So there is a channel piece which is changing, and the way people consume goods because the channel piece is also changing. The availability which is there, the kind of things which are happening, were not so. Each of the channels is I think also reframing its own strategies as to what they can do and what they can do. So the channel itself is changing. Third is, I think consumers today are exposed to so much, and so you really need to do standout work, both at at a communication level to be remembered. And last, I think the thing which is very important and is completely also something which is up our strength area is, I think, the product is back. Because in the absence of anything else, you have to have fantastic products, because consumers then, that is the moment of truth, and they say, hey, this is great, I must come back. Because unlike because you can do a lot of jazz, but in the end, that's where the reality hits, as the rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
So and also the cost of acquisition has become so high. So it's actually almost stupid not to invest in your product.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shibani.
And now it's time for this week's notice board. Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail's brand Van Heusen, which has been synonymous with workwear for young professionals, has now broadened its product portfolio to cater to the wedding season. And with this launch, they have also unveiled a new campaign with which the brand marks its entry into the premium wedding suits and blazers space. Van Heusen Weddings campaign stays true to the brand's promise of fashion meets innovation and brings to life the sophistication of modern premium weddings. Let's take a look.
Van Heusen Weddings.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.